Okay, so the first game we've got here on our little list is Manchester United 1, Brighton 3. Now, to be fair, it's in the game window on Saturday when there's a ton of games going on.
Yeah.
But I think we of course we get a look at all of them highlights wise, and we got a little bit of the games here. You know, this Manchester United story, Lee. Where do you sit with what's going on at Man United, given the kind of the issues around the club, particularly off the back of last year's successful season, final of the FA Cup, they won the Carabao Cup, they finished third in the Premier League. You know, it's such a big drop off. Is it connected to the drama with certain players that are no longer at the moment playing for the team?
100%. I don't think you can separate the two. I think the performances so far this season have been disappointing. There's no doubt about that. I think every single week we seem to pick the papers up and there'll be something going on behind the scenes. It's not ideal. And you know what it's like, Rob, being in a football club. Any little thing that you can use as a player as an excuse, and I'm not saying they're going around going, oh, this is happening, so we'll play bad on purpose. But there comes a point where distractions start to affect what's going on. Not only on a Saturday or a Sunday, but also in training. There's distractions. You need to, playing at a pretty high level, that you go from Monday to Friday prepping for a game for the Saturday. And I'm just speaking for myself. I had to be fully concentrated for all those times I was on the training pitch because it was part of being...
It wouldn't throw you off, would it? I'm not sure it'd throw me off. No, I'm not saying that's not the same with the whole team. I think I can still focus on my performance, Lee, when I cross the white line. But I'm not saying it's the same for every player like that.
No, but by you saying that, then you've got to go through, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 of your players, teammates, being suspended, being sent home from training because you're not training properly, details of things in their private lives coming out left, right and centre, and then the ownership, whatever debacle, whatever's going on there, all of that stuff, it all adds to... Of course, we'd like to say, I've had lots of things going on when I was playing at Arsenal, different things here and there. Tony Adams, having problems with alcohol, discipline issues on the pitch where we got docked 2 points for a brawl at Man United, all of that sort of stuff. But not as... I mean, it's week after week something's happening in United. So I think you're a bit of a tough cookie if you can say, do you know what, I don't think it'd affect me. Because we're on the outside looking in. It's difficult. And also the social media pressure of and the club they're playing for, the biggest club in the world in my book, it's an absolute... I think for Erik ten Hag to actually concentrate on the football is almost impossible.
Okay, so that being said, I can run down the list at the start of this game, and I know there's players that are out right now, suspended or away from the club, disagreements, whatever. I still think it's a pretty strong lineup. So what you're saying then, just to continue that, is that Erik ten Hag's hands are tied in some ways, and it's too difficult a situation around the club with all the issues there for even him that's been really appreciated at his time at Manchester United and how he's trying to turn this thing around. It's even for him not acceptable but understandably. So this is understandable. Is it that they are while they're in the league table now, they're like struggling in the league table, awful at the moment. I'm not trying to give him an out, but
I know what you're saying.
When's it going to change then? Well,
we thought we'd seen the last of it recently, and then something else pops up. Now there's 2 issues off the pitch, but it's not just going on off the pitch. I think the way that they played against Brighton, we were watching the game and how the players seemed so disjointed. They were playing against probably the worst team you could play against in a crisis, playing against Brighton, who are coming, who've got no fear about anybody right now, coming to Old Trafford where the pressure's on the home team, pressure's on Man United to actually perform like it is always, but extra pressure now because Ten Hag needs a win and he needs to just lift the whole place. And then Brighton come to town and absolutely rip you to pieces, and that's what's happening. So the football on the pitch is a debacle at best, and what's going on off the pitch, and you put that all in there, and then you go, and you're under the scrutiny from the media like you are, like we're talking about them now, like everybody else is. I mean, I don't know. I bet he's not getting much sleep, Erik ten Hag, at the moment.
Just from Manchester United fans' point of view, Lee, I mean, you know, we know they've had many years since Erik's gone and frustrations and stuff like that. You know, there was reports about booing when a substitution was made. I think Martial came off and Rashford stayed on. Oh, no, Martial came on, didn't he, for Rasmus Højlund? That's right.
Yes.
And I think the fans felt that maybe Rashford should have gone off at that time.
Yeah.
The fans, will they be understanding as maybe what you are in terms of the situation, how difficult it is, or are the fans going to, what can happen? Like, they're going to go through another manager, are they? How are the fans going to stay with the team in this difficult period?
Well, that's where they're going to get tested as much as everybody else, because the players and the team and Erik ten Hag need the fans more than any other time. And ultimately football fans are looking what they see in front of them. They're looking at performances. If they see the team giving everything and really scrapping for the badge, then you'll get away with stuff. I don't think they saw that at the weekend. I really don't think you couldn't look at that United side. And you going through the players in front of you. Yeah. I slightly disagree with when you go through them. So Lindelof
is in for Varane right now. Okay, so that's a slight drop off. Lisandro Martinez has been an excellent defender for them. Bruno Fernandes is the captain. Whether you agree, I think he's an excellent player. Rashford's a star player from last year, played his preferred position. Rasmus Højlund's the new striker they brought into the club. You've got Christian Eriksen, who's a lovely footballer. Reguilon, okay, different. He's on loan, isn't he? They've got him in late in the window for Luke Shaw's injury. Casemiro and what he's won in the game. Dalot, McTominay. So where...
Let me just go through the same list that you've gone, and obviously by saying now you said him, you think that's quite a good team. Not sure about the goalkeeper. He hasn't been there long enough. We're not made a few good saves.
Yeah, Lindelof, the club feel it's an upgrade, but
Lindelof, I'm not sure he's good enough.
Okay,
still for Man United. Martinez, he's got pedigree and he's been a good defender since there. Bruno Fernandes, you say he's a good player. He is a good player. Throws his toys out of the pram too many times for my liking. When the club need him, I don't trust him as a looking in from the outside. Rashford is up and down. You know, he's a brilliant footballer, but do you always get what you expect from him every week? No, you don't.
Agree with that.
Christian Eriksen, I love him to bits. Don't think he can run about enough in midfield. Casemiro's on that wavelength as well. I think he's past his best. Reguilon, as you said. Dalot's not good enough in my book to play for Man United. Scott McTominay, they're trying to get him out the door. Doesn't look so good now, does it?
No, don't. No. But from their point of view, that's the squad that they've got. I'm just saying there isn't that many others to come in. I know but Anthony hasn't done particularly great things on the right-hand side. Jadon Sancho's generally been disappointing some moments of it. So, yeah, whichever way you look at it, I think they would feel that they've got a good squad there and it's a decent team out. But like you're saying, actually not really.
No, I think
even last year, Deco. Even with last year's, they had a good season last year.
I think they overperformed last year. I do from what they had. But if you were sitting in that Brighton dressing room before the game, and that team sheet came in all honesty, and I'm not bashing on Man United.
No.
I'm just going. We're going to Old Trafford, which is normally just a hellish place to go and play with that crowd and all. I'm looking at that team as it goes on that board, and I'm going to the Brighton. I'm sitting there going, "We've got a hell of a chance today." And sure enough, they've ripped them to pieces.
They did. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And again, Brighton fans out there listening or watching, you've got to understand the appreciation we've got for this team.
Absolutely,
I love what the manager's doing there. I liked him from the first few games that I saw he's doing, and you hear stories from some of the players about his training session, the detail, and everything else, and how passionate he is. And every kind of play is almost choreographed, as maybe as much as we've ever seen in football. So
I think there definitely is a podcast for you to have with that manager. He's right up your street, and you'd love to have a little half an hour with him, wouldn't you?
Handle him.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.